Hi guys, welcome back to 10-Minute English with May. And today we are going to continue our discussion of transitive and intransitive verbs. So, a quick recap. Transitive verbs are verbs that take on objects, right? So some very common transitive verbs include eat, eat what? Eat a sandwich, right? Kill what? Kill that, I don't know, stalker. And do what? Do your homework, right? So, what about intransitive verbs? So, intransitive verbs do not have an object. At the end, there's no receiver, right? So, for example, sentences like birds fly, right? There's no object. The train stopped. Again, no object. And for intransitive verb, we have a special kind of verb called linking verbs. So by far the most common type of linking verbs would be be verbs, right? Is, are, was, were, so on and so forth. There are a lot of conjugated be verbs. And of course, words like seem, appear, right? And sensory words like look, smell, taste, so on and so forth. All right. So the function of linking verbs is to join the subject and, of course, the noun or pronoun or adjective that comes after the linking verb. All right. So we call those nouns and adjectives complement, or to be more specific, predicate adjective or predicate noun. All right. So for a more comprehensive overview, go to the first lesson to take a look at linking verbs. All right, so let's take a look at some example sentences. So what is the verb in the sentence? So remember, your subject verb more likely than not comes at the beginning of the sentence. So of course, not always, but if you are jumping around to find your subject and verb, you have to justify yourself. Can you cross out the ones that you didn't pick? Are they phrases or dependent clauses, right? So in this case, I bought, hey, is there a receiver? Yes, the dress is the thing that is being bought. And of course, using what we learned in the first class, you want to cross out your prepositional phrase. And remember one important thing, for transitive verbs, we can change them from active voice, like in this case, to passive voice. It doesn't mean you have to, and most of the time you shouldn't, but just to humor me, a new dress was bought by me. So you can see how our object now becomes the subject. And remember, for a passive voice verb, you need to use be verb plus past participle. So you might be wondering, all right, why do you need was? Because originally the verb is in past tense, right? Past tense. And the bought in was bought, the bought here is actually our past participle, right? Buy, bought, bought. So sometimes it can be quite confusing because you see the past tense and past participle, they look identical, but it's crucial that you kind of know how to tell the difference. All right, so was bought. Okay, number 2, the dance will be held. Okay, so in this case, will be held is our complete verb. I'm going to cross out my prepositional phrases before I move on. So cross out on the day, cross out after Christmas. Now, I don't see object here. So is this transitive or intransitive? It is actually transitive like in our first one. Why is that? Because you can see be verb will be plus past participle. That means this is a passive voice verb. So only transitive can be passive. Right, so again, I can switch it back to active voice if I want to. So I can guess it's probably the school that's holding the dance, right? So the school will hold the dance on the day after Christmas. So I'm not going to type the prepositional phrases. Okay. All right. So number 3, Jane and Wanda, that is our compound subject joined by and, donated. This is our verb. Past simple tense verb. Is there object? Of course there is. Holly and magnolia bows, right? Type of flowers, right? And you can cross out your prepositional phrase for the decorations. And of course, that is your transitive verb in active voice. So can I change it to passive? Of course. Holly and magnolia bows were donated by Jane and Wanda, right? Bows were donated. Okay, so again, be verb plus past participle, right? And since donated is in past tense, I need to make sure my be verb is past tense as well. And of course, plural bows, right? So I need to use were, not was. All right, so for number 4, lilacs smell sweet. Oh, sweet is an adjective, what we call predicate adjective. So we know that there is no object, and smell is a sensory verb. So in this case, we know that, okay, this is a linking verb, so it is intransitive. It's connecting the adjective to the subject, right? And what about number 5? The wind howled. Be careful, the house is not the object because you want to cross out your prepositional phrase. There is no object anymore, right? Like birds fly, there's no receiver. So that means this is intransitive, all right? But this is not linking verb. It doesn't link the subject to anything, all right? Okay, and number 6. The big billboard, subject, on Main Street. Hey, cross out your prepositional phrase. Was damaged, cross out by the storm. So you can see was damaged, that is your verb. Again, we don't see object here. However, was damaged is be verb plus past participle. And that means this is passive voice. And as we have already established, only transitive verbs can have passive voice, right? So we can convert this into active voice as well. The storm damaged the big billboard on Main Street, right? And that would be your active voice sentence. Okay, so again, you want to make sure, hey, since this is in the past simple tense, right? You have tense consistency when you're making the conversion. All right, and that's the second lesson on transitive and intransitive verbs. See you next time. Bye-bye.